this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
Senator John Fetterman sits on the Homeland Security Committee, and he joins us now.
I don't know why we can't just acknowledge that it's been a good thing what's happened. I mean, I've seen the speeches from whether it's Leader Schumer or kinds of past tweets from President Biden. No, we all wanted this man gone, and now he is gone. I think we should really appreciate exactly what happened here, and I think we did, just as I've salute our military, what they've done. That was really surgical and precise and very efficient, so why we can't celebrate these kinds of things.
You're listening to the 47 Morning Update with Ben Ferguson.
Good Tuesday morning. Nice to have you with us on the 47 Morning Update. First up, Donald Trump has a plan for Venezuela. It's a well thought out plan that deals with oil as well. So what is going to happen next? We'll explain it all to you. Also, Maduro makes his first court appearance in the United States of America. Did he plead guilty or not guilty? And what else did he have to say? We have it all for you. But first, I want to tell you about an amazing opportunity right now that I'm involved in, and I cannot wait for you to take advantage of it. I want you to take some incredible courses at Hillsdale College for free. You may not know this, but Hillsdale College has been influencing conservatives like myself for decades. They had a huge impact on Charlie Kirk's life. And even as memorial service, they talked about how Charlie took class after class after class at Hillsdale College. Hillsdale College is now offering for you, the listeners of this show, more than 40 free, I want to say that again, free online courses. That's right, more than 40 free online courses. You can learn about the works of C.S. Lewis, the stories in the book of Genesis, the meaning of the U.S. Constitution, the rise and fall of the Roman Republic, or the history of the ancient Christian church, all with Hillsdale College's free online courses. Right now, I'm personally taking the Constitution 101. In this course, you're going to explore the design and the purpose of the Constitution, the challenges it faced during the Civil War, and how it has been undermined for more than a century by radical progressives and liberals. This 12-lecture course is self-paced. It's another reason why I love it. So start whenever and wherever. In our country, we need more Americans like you and I that understand the Constitution and can defend the freedom of the American people against the left and their increasing encroachments on our God-given rights. So start your classes today for free. Start your free Constitution 101 course right now. How do you do it? Go to hillsdale.edu/morning update to enroll, and it's no cost. It's easy to get started. You got to use the special website, hillsdale.edu/morning update. Enroll for free. hillsdale.edu/morning update. It's the 47 Morning Update, and it starts right now.
Story number one.
Donald Trump coming out making it very clear on Venezuela and their oil reserves. We're going to run everything. We're going to run it when asked what would happen to Venezuela's oil reserves, which are now worth trillions of dollars. Trump's remarks came aboard Air Force One during a gaggle with reporters on a flight back to D.C. from Palm Beach. And according to the newest report, Venezuela has, as of Saturday's oil prices, approximately $17.3 trillion in oil reserves, which exceeds the collective global gross domestic product, excluding the United States and China. Just to put it in perspective, a reporter started a question by stating, Venezuela has $17 billion worth of oil reserves. Donald Trump responded with more. You mean trillion. Did you say billion or trillion? I said billion, the reporter replied, to which Trump emphasized it's much more than that. And then the president had this to say.
Venezuela right now is a dead country. We have to bring it back, and we're going to have big investments by the oil companies to bring back the infrastructure. And the oil companies are ready to go. They're going to go in, they're going to rebuild the infrastructure. You know, we built it to start off with many years ago. They took it away. You can't do that. And you can't do that with me. They did it with other presidents.
How soon do you think an election can take place in Venezuela? How soon can an election take place?
Well, I think we're looking more at getting it fixed, getting it ready first, because it's a mess. The country is a mess. It's been horribly run. The oil is just flowing at a very low level, much lower than even if it was badly run, it should have more income, more oil than what they're doing. So we're going to have the big oil companies go in, and they're going to fix the infrastructure, and they're going to invest money. We're not going to invest anything. We're going to just take care of the country. We're going to cherish the country. We're going to take care, more importantly, of the people, including Venezuelans that are living in our country that were forced to leave their country. And they're going to be taken very good care of. Yes, ma'am.
Have you spoken with the oil companies about
Yes.
going into Venezuela?
I have.
Which ones? Have you received any commitments?
All of them, basically.
Any commitments from the oil companies?
They want to go in so badly.
Did you speak with them before the operation took place?
Yes.
Did you maybe tip them off that way?
Before and after. And they want to go in, and they're going to do a great job for the people of Venezuela. And they're going to represent us well.
What happens
But
to
you know,
this?
the infrastructure is rusty, rotten, most of it unusable. It's old, it's broken. You see pipes laying all over the ground. Nothing's been invested for years. Chevron's in, as you know, they've done a good job, but even they haven't been in a position to invest money because they're at a month-to-month basis.
What happens to this?
They're only there because I wanted them to be.
Donald Trump again making it clear, we're going to run everything. We're going to run it. We're going to fix it. We'll have elections at the right time. And the main thing is you have to fix it. It's a broken country. There's no money. There's inflation like we would have had if we didn't win this election. And we would have been Venezuela on steroids, the president said. Trump noted Saturday that American oil companies will go into Venezuela to repair the badly broken oil infrastructure. The world agrees it is absolutely broken. And he said that he had spoken with the oil companies before and after the operation about resolve to remove the former dictator Maduro from power. This, of course, tried to turn into a fake controversy by the media, claiming that he had tipped off by asking the question to the oil companies. Another pathetic story, yet again, from the left. What we also know is this. Chevron's in. As you know, the president said they've done a good job, but they haven't been in a position to invest money because they're on a month-to-month basis. They're only there because I wanted them to be there. Now things are changing. And what's very clear is the president of the United States of America is not holding back, saying this is how the country will be saved. And as he described it, it will not cost Americans any money. Something very different from what we witnessed in Afghanistan and Iraq. The president making it clear, we'll fix it, and then they're going to pay for all of it. That is something that the president was very clear on. He was also asked by NBC's Kristen Welker in an interview about, are we at war with Venezuela? I want you to hear how NBC News is reporting on that as well.
The president reacting to today's arraignment during my phone call with him, telling me, quote, it is an extraordinary moment in history. That's true. And it's great for the hemisphere. He went on to say the prices of oil are going to, be reduced. The president also telling me we are not at war with Venezuela and that he would not need congressional approval to send in a second strike. One of the biggest questions right now is who is really in charge in Venezuela after President Trump said explicitly on Saturday that the U.S. would run the country. I asked the president about that today. If Secretaries Rubio and Hegseth, Stephen Miller would be the top three people in charge of Venezuela, the president said, yeah, among the top people, including J.D. Vance. I then asked him who will be the top person if there is one. The president's answer to that question was me.
The president of the United States of America, yet again giving simple answers to the media that, of course, makes the liberals lose their mind, and doing it in a way that shows he is in charge and actually has a plan.
Now story number 2.
Nicolas Maduro's first court appearance, it has officially happened. The ousted Venezuelan president was arraigned Monday in a federal courtroom in Manhattan on U.S. narco-terrorism and drug trafficking charges. He pled not guilty to all of the charges, denying any wrongdoing. Maduro repeatedly insisted through an interpreter that he is innocent and described himself as a, quote, prisoner of war, and said he remains a legitimate president of Venezuela. He also characterized his capture by U.S. forces as an abduction. Maduro's wife also appeared. She pled not guilty and has visible injuries that her lawyer says may include rib fractures from the arrest operation. Both are being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn and waived bail for now. The judge scheduled the next hearing for March the 17th, 2026. There are protests as well, as radicals on the left are outside the courthouse saying that this was, well, a terrible day for America. Official U.S. government line, very different, coming from the White House. The government is defending the military operation and Maduro's prosecution as legitimate action against narco trafficking and criminal syndicates, even as international critics are, of course, siding with Maduro, saying it was illegal. A White House spokesman pushed back strongly today on domestic criticism from the left. Many liberal commentators saying of the Venezuela raid, many countries consider Maduro illegitimate, and we should go back and report on the words of so many countries now that are just criticizing Trump because he's in charge. The FBI director, Kash Patel, went on TV to talk about the real threat that Maduro posed to the United States of America. And here's part of what he had to say about the fentanyl that had been seized by the Trump administration.
Mr. Director, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you meet with Chinese officials about stopping the precursors to fentanyl? And what has happened since that meeting? The president push with tariffs to stop it. What could you tell us happened with the flow into Mexico where they refine it and send it to us?
That's just it. There was nobody, no other administration was willing to engage with our counterparts on things like fentanyl, which were killing almost 100,000 Americans per year. And President Trump laid the groundwork for us to go over there and engage directly and say, hey, you got to shut off the flow of the chemical precursors, the ingredients that they utilize to make fentanyl. And we went over there and we got that agreement while we were there, thanks to President Trump's leadership. And we were able to literally shut off the flow of all 13 precursors and 8 chemical adjuster agents. And what that does is it suffocates the drug trafficking organization's ability in Mexico and South America and Central America and elsewhere to create and manufacture the fentanyl. And just look at what we did this past year under President Trump's leadership. We seized enough fentanyl to kill 175 million American citizens. That is an increase in fentanyl seizures by over 30%. That is what a coalition, a team-led effort by a decisive White House and President Trump looks like to counter narcotics, not just these great successful operations like what we saw this past weekend in Venezuela, but a continuing onslaught of law enforcement activity to safeguard the American public, and we're not going to stop.
The FBI director wasn't finished with that. He also praised Donald Trump's decisive leadership for having a drastic reduction in narcotics available on our streets, which is saving American lives.
I want you to put on your former prosecutor hat because you know these charges. I'm not asking you to prosecute for our audience, but explain to us the charges and how long are we talking about before Maduro sees the other side of justice?
Just want to be very careful here. Department of Justice and our DEA partners are going to be running point on these prosecution charges for narco-terrorism. But generally speaking, it's what I alluded to earlier. It is a large and continuous volume of illicit narcotics, to include cocaine and fentanyl and meth and everything else that we see harm our children and get poured into our communities. And thanks to President Trump's decisive leadership, we've seen a drastic reduction in not just deaths, but quantity of narcotics available on our streets. But Venezuela acted not only as a large and massive transshipment point by air and by sea, but also allowed drug traffickers to operate with reckless abandon inside their borders. And their direct target of deployment was the United States of America in large part. And that's what these charges, in my opinion, I believe will address. And thankfully that these individuals are now behind bars to face the justice system. And for me, quite frankly, it doesn't matter how long or how short the process is, as long as we get it right. And we're off to a great start, thanks to the decisive leadership this weekend of President Trump and his national security team.
Yeah, as long as he's in custody, I don't think people just want to see Venezuela get back to normal.
As you heard there from the FBI director, it's about national security. It's about saving American lives. It's also about making sure that there is a better nation in Venezuela for the people that have been oppressed by Maduro. And that is clearly part of Donald Trump's doctrine.
Thank you for listening to the 47 Morning Update with Ben Ferguson. Please make sure you hit subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast right now. And for more in-depth news, also subscribe to the Ben Ferguson Podcast, and we will see you back here tomorrow.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.